got to bed late, so she probably won't be up. So, so yes, for the time being, until Mr. Gaming with ADHD wakes up, it's us.
Well, let's see. I went to bed last night at midnight, and the dog decided to wake me up at 3 a.m. So, yay.
Just the once?
Well, I never went back to sleep after that.
Ah. Oh, you're getting to that age, are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it was like, so this is where I put the guilt trip in. It was like, well, if I go back to sleep, I could set my alarm, but I'm too stupid and lazy to do that. So I'm just going to stay up because I've already got a commitment to be on this show. So I just decided to stay up. I'll take a nap later.
I think we've established by now that if no one comes on, I'm just going to talk about my artificer stuff.
Yeah.
And yet still somehow do like an hour and a half to 2 hours of a show.
So I've got to figure out how I could craft up an artificer class in first edition. Like with only using the existing material that's there. I mean, yeah, could you create one? Sure. But I want to only use the core information that's there. And I'm thinking it's going to have to be like almost some kind of a cross between like some kind of a magic user.
Yeah, wizard.
Maybe, yeah, wizard and bard, perhaps. Or maybe wizard rogue. And I think it's going to end up, I mean, I think classically how you could pull it off would be more like a multi-class type character.
Speak of the devil, and he shall come.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, man. Causing problems.
Oh, and you got a haircut.
I did.
A few of them.
A lot of them. I don't know how you are handling that thing in your nose. Dear Lord.
The hard part is when I try to take a drink of my coffee, it just doesn't work. So I'm just standing here holding my coffee and looking at it.
I don't think that's how coffee's supposed to work.
No, it's supposed to be like an IV right into your arm, right?
Something like that.
Just hook it to my veins.
I want to mainline my coffee.
So how's everybody this week?
I mean, that's better than a coffee enema.
I mean, anything's better than anything labeled with enema.
And already we've gone to butts. This show really goes easily into asses, you know.
I am just walking. It's just
You can always get one of those Ready Whip foam cans. Woo!
That escalated quickly.
That'll wake you up. Just be sure to shake the can first.
I can't believe this is our 20th show and we're still talking about butts.
I don't recall us ever talking about butts before. Just saying.
The subject of asses comes up surprisingly often.
Yeah, he's asked you a couple of questions.
That's true. That's true. There was, I did.
And farts have been a frequent commentary as well.
Yeah, but farts are always awesome to talk about. Like my favorite is like the mom that freaks out because her 4-year-old is talking about farts, and it's just like,
yeah,
you know what? They're 4, and let's be honest, farts are funny.
So, oh, there you go.
No,
I was going to say, that's funny because Grim gets her phone out to record the kids when they start doing jokes about farts, and I use the term jokes loosely because it's generally just them pissing themselves laughing, saying farts or butt or butthole, and just like killing themselves laughing. And
as they should.
And it was worse tonight because they got up to the troll part in The Hobbit. Which, if you're aware of that story, there's butt and boob commentary in that. And my son lost his shit laughing over that.
I don't see anything wrong here. I refuse to say that there is anything wrong with that. And yes, I say that as a soon-to-be grandfather who is very much, looking forward to trying to be a better grandfather than I was a father. So,
anyhow. Way to sober this place up real quick.
No,
I'm going to be a grandfather.
No, I wasn't trying to, no, I dude, Black Friday, we bought DVD collections of G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Voltron. Ostensibly, they're for the grandson, ostensibly, but,
But for at least 7 years, you're going to enjoy them all for yourself.
Well, no, like 2.
2?
I might even start him on them earlier. I don't know.
As someone who started his kids off early on my stuff, which includes all those lovely 80s, He-Man, Voltron, Transformers. What else have I got? Thundercats. Visionaries.
That one.
Man, there's a couple more, but my son did not take to them. He instead took to Frozen. So my life is hell. That woman who can't sing, yet somehow that song's super popular.
I guess you guys can't really build a snowman there, can you?
No, it doesn't snow here. It doesn't snow here.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
You could build a Sandman. And then you could use that to introduce him into a Spider-Man universe. Do you want to build a Sandman?
I went so much darker than that, dude. I was thinking Sandman DC.
Touche.
Do you want to build a Sandman? Okay, good night, forever.
Or Metallica.
But yes, so Mr. Gerbrian.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Star Wars?
Define the new Star Wars.
Skeleton Crew.
No.
Okay. I have mixed opinions on this.
Okay.
It is a bipolar response it is getting from me. On one hand, it is fucking stupid. On the other hand, it is fucking cool.
I mean, can't you say that about most any series aimed at kids?
Well, here's the thing about that. For a series aimed at kids, and especially for being a Disney show, considering that they censor the fuck out of Bluey in America.
But he's not bitter, folks.
No. I would just like you people.
Bluey censored here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bluey is super censored there.
It's not super censored, but there's like well, but yes, there is censorship going on. Like there was one episode where Bandit was talking about getting a vasectomy, and like they completely rewrote it.
Openly talking about getting a vasectomy with another dad. And they rewrote it for the US because the Disney censorship wanted it changed.
I guess I'm not that familiar with Bluey then. I know the character, didn't realize it was. Is it more for like the South Park crowd?
No, it's for 4-year-olds.
Yeah. And parents. It is 100% also for parents.
And I will straight up admit, I have seen it all multiple times, and I don't have any children in that age range. It is written really well.
Yeah, and
sorry, okay, I detracted. Go back to Skeleton Crew. Sorry.
No. You got me on Bluey. I now need to talk about Bluey. Because there's one episode, well, there's several episodes, but there's one episode in particular you guys didn't get. It's called Early Baby. It is about a premature birth, the kids playing out a premature birth, and the kid being the baby being in NICU. And how they've got to wash their hands and everything to keep it sterile so that they don't get the baby sick and it dies. It's
Y'all got some mature 4-year-olds over there.
That's how well the show's written, though.
Wow.
Well, because that's the other thing is it's like it's not so much about like they're using age appropriate terms. Okay, so everything's appropriate for a 4-year-old, but it's like how would a kid react when they have a sibling or a niece or a cousin or something that's premature?
Yeah, we're gonna go happens. Yeah.
And so it is handled very, very, very well.
And as a parent of a child who was premature when that episode came out, just fucking stabbed me in the heart, man. Just repeated stabbing in the heart with that episode. I swear to God.
Yeah. See, well, no, and I guarantee you, everybody has an episode that stabs them. Because I've talked about it before. I'll talk about it again. For me, it's the episode Army, season 2. Because
they get that right.
What?
They get that right.
Yeah. Well, no, but it's not about. But that's the thing is, it's not about the Army. It's about ADHD.
Yes, it is.
And I hate almost every single character in that episode except the 2 central characters. I literally want to stab all of them. That's how much rage it induces in me.
Although, you've got to admit that Callisto teaming Jack up with
Callisto gets a pass. I hate her in almost every other instance because she's this super hippy dippy preschool teacher, and so it just annoys me. But she gets a pass in that episode, mostly because she only has one line. Everyone else, though, oh my gosh, just the hatred and rage I have for all of them, especially Jack's parents. Oh my gosh. So much rage.
Oh, also, it should be noted, Game Masters, that for the most part, a lot of the other family groups in the show, those are real family groups of actual Australian actors. So
so like whoever plays dad, then like they get that kid, or like whoever they got to play the kid, if they need the dad, they'll bring their dad in.
Not necessarily. A lot of the time it's happened that they've like gone to that they've talked about like say, oh, this is a good idea with like okay, army episode, right?
Right.
They knew Hamish. Oh, is it Andy? One of the two dumbasses anyway. That they had a kid who was like that, who's been kind of like doing some acting and stuff, and so they reached out to the dad to ask about him coming on the show, and the dad asked his son. It was like, yeah, okay, I can give it a try. And so when they got him, they were like, well, Dad and Mom, you guys are actors too. You want to come in and be the parents as well?
Oh God, that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, so that's kind of how they do it a lot of the time. A lot of the time, yeah, those other family groups, those are actual real life family groups as well. The only one that isn't is the two healer family groups. So bandits, so the bandit family,
Right,
and his brother Stripe. They're not family groups.
got it.
Yep.
Well, regardless, Army is still the best episode.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the one that gets
Brian's
grim,
like, what did I get into?
the one that gets grim is the bum scooting episode when Chili talks to Bluey and Bingo about when Bluey started walking as a baby, and like she tells her about like the oh no, don't tell me you guys didn't get that one either.
No, I've seen that one, but it's been a long time.
Okay, thank God.
Like seriously, the only one that like I remember vividly is Army. And that's because of the whole ADHD storyline and the fact that I want to murder everyone. Yes, I want to murder the cartoons in Minecraft.
I get that. Minecraft in many ways is much harder than Elden Ring.
Yeah, because you have to think of something. I don't like Minecraft.
What about Terraria?
No, I don't like. I struggle with all of those because I don't know what to do. It's just like, well, you can do whatever. Okay.
We should build a house together in Terraria sometime.
Yeah, you just pick up a bunch of Legos and slap them together.
Exactly.
Make stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
I get that, but
build a mud house with me so that we survive the zombies at night.
But why?
So that we can build armor to kill them the next time.
Oh, okay. Actually, okay, hold on. Like 7 days to die, something like that. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, I've got a timer. Zombies are coming. Okay, I have to do stuff. I'm going to start with this, kind of thing. But Minecraft, it's just like, well, you can build a castle. Why?
Some people want to build a castle.
And I get that. But like to me, there's no payoff. It's like, okay, so I built a castle in Minecraft.
Or alternatively, some people just want a diggy hole.
That's true. What'd you say, Brian?
I said you just defend it.
From
keep the other monsters from tearing it down.
Yeah, the creepers.
The creepers and the zombies and Enderman and...
Did you say Slender Man?
No, Enderman.
Oh, Enderman. I was like, when did they add that?
I mean it's basically the same thing, but
I don't know. I just struggle with it, and it's just like it's.
That's fair.
I get that people enjoy it. I'm not trying to tell people. I'm not trying to say, oh, it's dumb, it's horrible. I get it. It just doesn't click with my head. Like I've been playing Diablo 4. Okay. all you have to do is just give me some piece of a quest, and I'll go do it. You know, like Minecraft, go collect 10, like red ore. Okay, well, now I have an objective. Where's the red ore? Okay, cool. I've got 10 of it. Go turn it in.
Build a castle. There's your objective. You got to have some place to hang your torch. There's your objective.
I know. I just struggle with sandboxes. They're like, even when you make up your own objective, I just like,
I get it.
Yeah. I'm glad people enjoy it though. So my kids have had fun with it.
The music is very calming.
That's true. I will give it that.
Can I ostracize myself now?
No, I want to hear about Skeleton Crew.
I was just going to say, I've actually never played Minecraft.
Wow.
And here you are giving me grief for struggling with it.
I've played Terraria, Starbound, a bunch of other craft games like that. Pretty sure if you've played one, you've played them all.
Pretty much.
Right. That is also frustrating.
I mean, I've created worlds in D&D. That's pretty much the exact same thing.
And I would that's the thing. I like that for some reason that is more real to me.
Well, yeah, of course. It makes sense. I mean, it's in your head, but you're putting it down on paper in some instances. You're creating something from your own imagination, and you can visualize it better than anybody else can, even though it's not a tangible thing. But with Minecraft, okay, I want to go build a castle. You may still put the same amount of hours in building a castle in Minecraft versus building one for D&D or whatever other game system you're playing. But at the end of the day, after 2 hours of building, you still have more intimate knowledge of the one that you've created for your role-playing game versus the one that you're playing or creating in Minecraft.
Well,
I mean, I get it.
And not just that, an argument that I would make is you have a Minecraft castle. Okay? Because, in Minecraft, you get their texture palette, you get their shape palette. Think about it. Everything works on a cube system in Minecraft in most cases. So it looks like a Minecraft castle. Whereas even my crappy sketch is still my castle and my design. I can have a sweeping arch and smooth lines, more or less, that I can't get out of Minecraft.
And I never understood why Lego never went after that D&D crowd. They did last year. They finally did an official D&D in castle dragon thing.
We have it. It's awesome.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks neat. It looks really cool. But can you imagine if we had that, kind of growing up, like D&D themed, and it didn't have to be branded D&D. I know that they had some fantasy.
I maintain that they did in the forms of castles and pirates.
Well, that's true.
Well, but they didn't really have fantasy. Because even with the castle, maybe there was more like skeleton, but it wasn't like hordes of skeleton armies. And
right.
You can get the skeleton booster boxes.
Dude, you are so young, it's not even funny. I don't want to hear it.
We're talking like the 80s. Age of astronauts. For us, it was astronauts, and which was cool. I still have a box of those. But
dude, I have Futuron.
Yeah,
don't talk to me about freaking.
No, you're still too young. You're at least a decade younger than both of us.
So Brian, did you ever do the Lego Lincoln Log crossover?
No, I never had Lincoln Logs as a kid. And Legos, like I loved Legos. I still love Legos. Like I saw some meme going around like quote unquote making fun of it wasn't really, but it was more like trying to kind of defend the 16-year-old who still likes to build Legos. I'm like, I'm almost 50 and I still like to build Legos. What are you talking about?
And then we had in the late 80s, early 90s, we had the Erector set that came out.
I never had any of those. Well, no, but so like the catch for me with Lego, like my parents, like we called it the Lego bucket because literally imagine like a Home Depot 5-gallon bucket, and essentially it was like my brother's Legos. I don't recall ever getting any new Legos as a kid. I remember stealing
just a new
Legos.
package. They're just a new container every Christmas, but they were the same Legos.
No, I didn't.
That's what I got.
Get that. I didn't even get that. But no, but I remember stealing Legos from other kids because like I wanted some of those cool parts that I never got.
I got a hand-me-down from my cousins, a 10-liter bucket of Lego when I was either 4 or 5, and that was my first love of Lego. And basically from then, every birthday and Christmas, I always got something new of Lego because my mum instantly regretted that choice.
Yeah, we went kind of nuts with Lego because of COVID. And also, Brian, technically they've done 2 things for D&D Lego. They did the castle dungeon thing, and the minifigure set.
Yeah.
So, and we have all.
But I mean, how many years has D&D been around? How many years has Lego been around? And it's taken them this long to team up. That's what I'm saying.
Actually, and here's the thing: do you know why they teamed up?
Hasbro?
No.
Probably,
Lego ideas. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's basically where people will build kits.
Yeah.
Or build
they had
something.
A contest. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like they essentially they had a contest for it. Somebody made it. And they're because that's the thing is if the ideas thing goes well, they'll actually look into getting the license. So. Regardless, it is a fun set. My son bought it, so I didn't get to help build it. Made me a little sad. Mostly because I know Kim wouldn't let me get my own copy. Because she'll just be like, Ethan already has it.
And it's, honestly, it's expensive.
It is.
I mean, it's really expensive.
It's also really good. Like from a D&D fan perspective, like they put everything in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, can you imagine like growing up playing, just the even the advanced D&D stuff? And instead of buying Ral Partha, you bought Legos, and you could, like hand create your inns, your blacksmiths, your caverns, and have encounters using the minifigures. And I mean, it's just such a no-brainer. And I'm like, I don't know why they just didn't ever do that earlier.
Here's one for you, Brian. Did you know that Lego put out a dungeon crawl board game?
No.
Look up Lego Heroica. It was a Lego style system, or like I say system basically because you had multiple sets, some bigger, some smaller, whatnot. But it was essentially like it was a dungeon crawl board game, and so they had fighters and wizards and thieves. And, yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. That right there. That is exactly that. Yeah. I mean,
I have it. My kids loved it.
That's almost exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, you could just piece it together, and
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hold on. How can you have a go at me about talking about castles and pirates? Oh, I'm so young. This looks like it came out in the 2000s or
It
2010s.
It did. Mid 2000s.
Yeah,
Because my kids were small when I got it.
15 years before that, you had castles and pirates.
I know, but again, castles and pirates are real. Okay, what Brian is talking about, and at least what I'm assuming he's kind of talking about, is there wasn't really a fantasy theme. It was castle, it was space, it wasn't. So you didn't have the knights versus the orcs, or the knights versus the skeletons. At least not that I recall.
Yes,
from
they
the
did.
80s. Back in the 80s?
Yes, the green people, the green Lego minifigs, were meant to be the monsters.
I don't think those existed back then. I think you are lying to me.
I had like a dozen of them.
You are a liar, sir.
And also, they had plenty of skeletons because I used to have a bunch of them.
No, they had skeletons because you put a skeleton in the dungeon. I'd say, but the skeleton was always like kind of an add-on, like accessory, as opposed to a
I mean, I'm okay. So I'm looking at fantasy sets for Lego, and I mean, there actually are quite a few. I mean, there are several that are just basic castles, but I'm seeing one here that's got a big minotaur attached to it.
Okay, but what year is that
maybe
from?
A troll.
What year is it from?
I have no idea.
Okay, hold it real quick. Do you see the box in the thing?
Yeah.
Okay, there's like underneath the age, there should be like a 4 or 5 digit number.
I don't even see an age listed.
Okay, by the Lego logo.
I see 12. Well, hold on. This is a bad. Like, here's one that's 40657.
Lego. Well, that is.
Oh, that's streams. That's like, last few years.
I just see that it looks like it's got a little Pillsbury Doughboy, a wizard, and Hagrid, but it's really tiny.
But that's also within like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
For that particular one.
You can probably go back about 10, 15 years. You've probably got a lot of the cave trolls and stuff from the Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter.
They did a bunch of stuff with that.
Do Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, yeah.
So
I mean, I guess there are several that are fantasy, but I guess that's all happened since really I kind of got out of Lego.
Right.
And I mean, I think I started playing D&D 82, 83, maybe 84. And so, I mean, anything that would have been out between, the early 80s to maybe 92, 93. So for a 10-year period, that's when I would have, and that's when I would have appreciated it. Past that.
Yeah, no. Well, and I don't disagree on any of that. The only argument that I'm making, because they've done tons of stuff, like at least since, okay, so the first license that they picked up was Star Wars, and that was 98 or 99. Okay. So,
yeah.
But prior to that, that's where I'm saying that they were a lot more quote unquote realistic. Even for space, you didn't really see aliens. You saw people, but you didn't see aliens.
Yeah, so
But
look
then-
up 10332. That's a slightly more modern one, but that would have been cool to have.
Right. And that one is within the last 6 months, I think.
Oh, wow.
That looks
Okay.
like a ideas.
Yeah, I don't know.
Icon.
Medieval
Yeah.
town square is what it tells me, but
Icons. So icons are kind of like the adult line.
yeah,
Which means they can charge more for it.
right.
Charge more complicated. It's not as it's designed for more display as opposed to build.
Oh, I absolutely fucking hate that. It's more for display than to like play and build with, because it limits how much you can make it modular. That is so irritating.
Yeah, like the 10234. There's not much you could really do with that other than build what it is.
Ugh. Did you really?
I'm just saying. I mean, what? Look at it. I mean, what else could you build with that? Not much.
Actually, no. Here's the crazy thing: is what you can build with it. Like if you look at like go and look at like some of the floral sets. Like they've been doing this lately, and they're selling like crazy. For some reason, my son keeps buying a lot of them. But it's these flower sets, and like for a Japanese cherry blossom tree.
Yep.
They do these little pink frogs.
Yep.
Because they look right. Kim wanted the poinsettia set for Christmas. Apparently, it uses like these ninja stars. Okay, they repurpose all sorts of things. So when you're like, "Oh, well, it's the Sydney Opera House. What else could you build out of it?" You would be surprised what you could build.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Right, but you are correct. Like those, yes, they aren't going to be as flexible, as far as what you could get out of them.
Oh, actually, no, you might be right.
What?
I found a picture. I scrolled down quite a bit to find a picture of like an actual close-up image of it, and yeah, you might be right. They may have repurposed a lot of old pieces to make it.
Yup. They do it all the time. Now here, I'm going to throw a link in private chat so that you guys have exactly what I'm looking at. So looks like 2007 to 2009. They did a fantasy series. So it was castle, but it was fantasy. And so you had dragons and orcs and skeleton armies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's all. Yeah, that's like close to 2010, which would be about 20 years after I was really in it.
Correct. Yeah, so that's why I was saying for us as kids, it kind of sucked because or not sucked, but I mean like it didn't have those fantasy elements.
Yeah. I'm talking like, I want the stuff where I could do like a Warhammer 40K battle, but using Legos to build the terrain and the figures to fight with.
Here's the thing.
That's what I would
nowadays
wanted.
You straight up can. There are people that make third-party like Space Marine bits.
Yeah,
so you can play Lego Space Marines.
That's especially easy if you had the old Nexo Knight collection, because they had bulky armor pieces over the top.
No, people have just made other
pieces.
pieces.
3D printed them. Yeah, I know. No. But like you could just makeshift them out of the old Nexo Knight set as well. Keep bashing them.
Yeah, go to brickarms.com. I'll just tell you, they ain't selling you arms.
What was it?
Brickarms.com.
I don't think I need to go. I just saw the wiki thing, the Google sidebar of it. Wow.
Yeah. So you want sci-fi? You want modern? You want, here's a Halo energy pistol. Here's a Star Wars E11 blaster. Here's a Halo ray gun. Just all sorts of stuff. So that's what I'm saying. If you nowadays, if you want it, you can get it.
Yeah.
But when we were kids, yeah, not as much. The belt-fed minigun.
Oh, that's impressive. Although I have a very terrible feeling it's probably highly expensive for me.
Probably.
More reasons why I need to get a 3D printer. Then I can get that airship thing from that thing you showed me.
Right?
Oh, that airship was so fucking awesome. Anyway, I'm sure people have been loving us looking off screen at things that they're not seeing.
That's up to you to share screens, man.
Hey, I've been trying. But yeah, okay. Go. I'll give you a quick throw of my major criticism and major like of Skeleton Crew.
Okay, right. Yeah, back to that. Man, that was 30 minutes ago. Brian probably completely forgot we were talking about that.
I think he's probably been keeping track. Okay, so my major gripe is that this is a Star Wars in-universe thing, and the world looks like an American neighborhood from the 80s, but Star Wars-ified. So, like, imagine, like, E.T. or Close Encounters or something like that. Stranger Things, if anyone who's younger than us needs a more recent reference, and make it look like Star Wars.
Hey. So you're saying they just didn't spend any money on the budget?
No, it all got spent on Acolyte.
It all got spent on Acolyte.
God, that would not surprise me.
And the new Snow White movie.
Oh.
Hold on. On the 2 new Snow White movies. Because remember, it was basically in the can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so then, like, people were not happy about the 7 magical companions. Thanks, Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
So they basically had to go in and redo everything. Because they've been talking about that for like 2 years now.
Okay, hold on. Let's get back to Star Wars.
Anyway, yeah.
We've detracted twice, 3 times now. I want to hear the Star Wars rant.
Okay, so he doesn't like that it looks like 1980s Star Wars.
No, it's not that it looks like 1980s Star Wars. It looks like 1980s suburban America with like a slight Star Wars gloss over it.
Right. So, house, white picket fence, and a moisture evaporator.
Practically, yes. Like the kids, like speeder bike. One of them had like the actual basket on the front.
The Twin Pines Mall with AT-AT parking.
Have we seen a lightsaber in it? Spoilers.
So, the other terrible thing about the show is the main character. The main kid. He is 99% of their problems wouldn't happen if someone punched him in the face.
That's like most stories, though.
I mean, yeah, but you could say that about Home Alone.
And you're saying Macaulay Culkin doesn't need a punch in the face?
No, I'm saying the 99% of the problems could have been solved if somebody had just punched the kid in the face.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a bad criticism because like it's kind of like saying, well, none of these problems would exist if they just had a cell phone.
No, because like this kid is more like the irritating Home Alone kid, right? But all the supporting character kids are all like the kids from E.T. They're actually like, they can think. They actually have ideas.
For the record, I don't think I've seen E.T. since the 80s. Anyways. No, but I get it. I get it. It's
the Goonies then. What do you want from me?
No, actually I think that is much more appropriate.
Lost Boys.
I think I've only seen that like once.
Oh my god.
It's about vampires. I don't do scary movies. Yeah, true story. Kind of a wuss. I'm kind of a wuss.
There's nothing scary about it at all.
It's about vampires. There's going to be a little bit of scary.
Dude, it's Keith Sutherland as a vampire.
Those aren't really my movies. I have seen it. I just haven't seen it multiple times.
It's Winters as a vampire. You know, Bill and Ted? The one that isn't Keanu Reeves?
Again, I've seen it. I just haven't seen it multiple times. Look, I disappoint everyone. You ain't alone here.
Why is it every time we talk about something and I bring something up, you find new ways to just disappoint me?
Again, I disappoint everyone.
But it's new ways. At this point, I've got more reasons to dislike you than like you.
I mean, it was bound to happen. You've been on. We've done diving deep into Eberron 12 times now. No, 13 times.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a real problem with getting through this in a timely manner.
You thought it would be done by now.
Oh my gosh. I hate complaining about it because I like doing it. I just wanted to get, like, the whole point to doing it was to get through some of this backlog of books that I've been collecting.
But in the meantime, you've added 20 more books in the course of just trying to cover one.
The Palladium Christmas box is going on right now. And with the amount of overtime that I've been working, I'm ordering one every paycheck because I want my collection back.
Yeah, I made that mistake of ordering that last year, and I got a bunch of supplement books they said there would be at least one core book in it. There was no core book.
No. They don't say there's going to be a core book in there.
Well, last year when they were on Bear's live stream that he was doing, I had jumped in and was just in the chat, and that's what they had said is you go in, you specify what your core books are that you would like, and we'll try to get you your. And they now, to their defense, they did say we'll try to fulfill that wish.
Okay, so I think you were misunderstanding. And I say this as someone who's done this a lot. This is not me just trying to like.
Oh, no, I understood. They're trying to clear out old inventory.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No, because if it was just trying to clear out old inventory.
Everything that I got had a copyright date of 1990 or before. Yes, it was old inventory.
No. When was the print date?
1990 or before. Or maybe it was like 1998 or before, yeah.
No, you should check. I doubt that. I'm going to argue this one.
Okay. Carry on.
By the way, we're on a Star Wars topic again.
So, all right. Because again, I think there were some misconceptions. Like, yeah, Yin Sloth Jungles. Okay, so look at.
That's
okay,
one
don't
of
look at the. Okay, hold on. Don't open it up and look at the printing date. Oh, see, that one's been printed that one was written in the last 3-4 years. I think. Again, open it up and look at the printing date.
Second printing, June 2022.
Okay.
The jungle one. Yeah, first printing of updated and expanded July 2023, but the first printing was 1994.
Correct. Remember, Palladium, for the most part, is still printing and making the same books that they always have.
Yeah.
So if you ordered, say, Rifts England, okay, they haven't revised Rifts England. I mean, I think there've been like a couple of revisions, like a couple like little tweaks, but for like if you look at the print date, it's like special printing number 7, July 2022.
Yeah.
So they're definitely not clearing out old inventory. But what they say put down 10 books. So if you had only put down core rule books, then you would have gotten at least one core rule book. What they promise is that you'll get at least $100 worth of stuff. And then but then they also have a box for, is there a game you would like to try? So you can put down Nightbane, Dead Rain, whatever, and maybe they'll throw that one in as well. They usually haven't done that for me. But there is also a trick, which I kind of figured out last year. So I really wanted the Compendium of Modern Weapons and Armor. Okay.
So just list that 10 times.
No. I still put down 10 books like they asked for. But I put that one, and I put like asterisks and stars and like all sorts of stuff. I really, really, really need this book. And that came in it. Now, it's still not a guarantee. Maybe they're all out of it. Maybe like it's sold out during the surprise boxes.
Yeah.
But I did that once,
and it worked. You know, a lot of people are like, well, what about miniatures or T-shirts or whatnot? It's like, there's a comment box, put it in there, and I put in there, I'd like a couple of miniatures. I'd like to paint them on stream. I haven't done so yet, but whatever. They sent me some miniatures. So I
guess it's a good deal for those that are big fans of the brand.
Yeah,
I think that was probably part of it for me was, I guess I was expecting some, like I said, more core rule books, and what I got were a bunch of supplement books.
sure.
Because I don't have many core rule books from it, so that's what I needed in order to play it. So I got one of the TMNT books. I don't have the core book for it. So it's like, well, I can't really do anything with it, but how they didn't know that. I mean, they wouldn't know.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely one where anyone who listens to this, if you decide to do so, like literally just say, I'm new here. I need core rule books.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly how I worded it, but I didn't get any core rule books. So I was like, well, Yeah. But me being the crafty person I am, I was able to take some of the ideas from some of these books and incorporate them into my other games.
And I would expect nothing less from you. Me, on the other hand, will always be a disappointment. Like right now, I don't even have any cough drops. Oh, this is the worst.
So, Skeleton Crew.
Take 5. Yeah. So what I like about it, everything that isn't the main kid and the planet, which surprisingly there's an equal amounts of.
And
the droid. You like the droid, right?
Yes, the droid. SM-33.
Smee.
I want to know.
Name.
Yeah. I want to know, 1, how long it took them to come up with that, and 2, are they embarrassed how long it took them to come up with that? The best thing is, when he says it, he's like, there are some who call me SM-33. And you can just, like, it's like the kids all just kind of like tick, tick, tick. And I'm like, okay. And I'm just like, Smee is me. Mm-hmm. Captain Hook. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even complaining. This character is by far the best thing. This droid is my new favorite Star Wars droid. Like,
how dare you cheat on R2-D2 like that?
Look, R2 will always be telling the story of Star Wars. But damn, man, this droid.
Tony Daniels will always be insufferable.
But Smee will tell us everything else we need to know.
Oh, yeah. With a pirate accent. Yar. And the best part is, because, he's a pirate droid, right? So he's got, like, replacement parts. So one of his replacement parts is, like, a stubbed leg. So he's essentially got a peg leg. And he kind of, like, walks around, like, gnarled. But he looks like an older model of those Imperial droids from Rogue One. If you remember those.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Look up Alan Tudyk's character in Rogue One.
Do you remember watching Solo, A Star Wars Story?
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of a toned down version of that humanoid walking robot.
Got it.
Droid.
Thing. Person.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I will. I've not heard much about it, which I think is actually.
I know I haven't either. I mean, I've seen the ads on, when we're scrolling through like Roku or whatever, and we'll see the ad for like a little commercial for it. But across social media, I haven't heard a whole lot, one way or the other.
Yeah,
which
that's
right nowadays, to me, I think that's a better sign. You know,
I will say as of right now, it kind of is, because the way it's going, like at the end of the second episode, it could either stick, like the third episode could either stick the landing, or like we could go into, this is a really poor version of Stranger Things that's just trying to be a cheap knockoff.
or both.
Well, a Star Wars twist of Stranger Things could also work really, really well. But yeah, it.
Mhm.
I still want to see a Star Wars version of Death Troopers, the novel, like full on zombified stormtroopers. I want to see that so bad. They need to do an R-rated. I mean, look at Deadpool. It's hugely successful for the Marvel Universe. Imagine if they did an R-rated stormtrooper movie. And it doesn't have to be R-rated due to language or nudity or anything like that. But I mean,
just violence.
And not necessarily even violent, just subject matter.
Horror.
Yeah, the horror of it. Yeah, that's what I want to see, is a Star Wars horror movie. Now, Brian, I know you're not into horror, but
sure.
I
don't know. Should be made. I just say it's just not for me.
Yeah. I know. I don't know. I think that. For me, anyway, I would get a kick out of seeing a Star Wars subject matter of that.
The only thing I would want to change about Death Troopers is not get Han Solo involved.
Yeah.
I would change that out so that it's all original characters, just so you don't get an idea of who might live.
Right.
Because Han Solo being in it, he's going to live.
Right.
You got everyone it keeps you on your toes on who might live, who's going to die.
Right.
and the thing is like, even if it's not for me, I do still think they have, I do still think there's a place for it. I mean, like you said, it's based off of a novel anyways. So
right. So you've already got an established, lore there with it.
Right. So, it's, it is Star Wars, so they're always going to be, a bit hesitant as far as, going for some of those quote unquote more adult topics.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would have zero issues with them doing something like that. And then it's like, if you got a problem with the kid, you just say, nope, this is one for when you're a little bit older.
Yeah. I'm also kind of excited to see the new Alien Earth show come out.
Alien Earth?
Yeah.
I have not heard of that.
Like the movie Aliens.
Oh.
The Xenomorph franchise. Yeah, they're doing a TV show that's coming out next year that it's all aliens on Earth.
Now, is that meant to be related to the most recent movie, or?
I don't know, and I don't think that it is. So the comic, Dark Horse Comics came out with one called Alien, or I think it was called Alien Earth Hive. This was years ago, back in the 90s, early 90s, mid 90s. And it was all about, I mean, the storyline was they're trying to prevent this. I don't remember if it was a ship or something, but it had aliens on it or eggs on it. And they were trying to keep it from crash landing on Earth. And the final scene of it was I think it was a ship that was hauling the eggs back, and they were, a group of people were trying to prevent it from hitting Earth. Well, it hits Earth, and the final scene in the last comic is just kind of an overview, and you see this egg open up, and the little, face hugger jumps out, and it just starts crawling away, and Earth is pretty much doomed at that point. I would presume that this is going to take place. I'm assuming that it's going to be an extension of that specific storyline, but
I would want to believe that. But to be fair, they also did a Predator comic of how that ancient from Predator 2 had that flintlock pistol, and then they did Prey.
Right.
So,
right. Well, and they're doing a Prey 2 as well.
Fucking
yeah. And a lot of people applauded Prey. I thought it was boring as fuck.
But that's the thing. Compared to a lot of the other recent Predator movies, it was better. But when I can look at Predator 2 and go, this is much better than every single recent thing, there might be a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
I don't remember Predator 2 being very good.
Oh, it was entertaining enough. I mean, it was a good popcorn movie.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I haven't seen it since the theater.
I mean, that was probably the last time I saw it too, but still.
Morning, Max.
To be fair, it's Monday now, so yeah.
Though I did like in, was it the original Predator versus Alien, the one that took place in the Arctic? They go down the big ice tunnel, the frozen area. I do like that they ripped off a portion of the Alien versus Predator comic in which the Predator and the female team up together, and he rips off the finger of an alien and then puts the little alien blood tattoo. Yeah, the blood tattoo or acid tattoo on her forehead. And so now every Predator from that point forward sees her as one of them and gives her respect. Yeah. And that originated from the comic and the Alien versus Predator comic book. And I just always thought that was really cool that they included that.
Although in the comic, she went on to join the Predator clan.
Right.
And she got her own armor and everything, and she was a complete and utter badass.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Hollywood has a way of bastardizing good stories.
It's called crushing dreams.
Yeah, that too.
I do think that's part of it, but there are technical limitations. There's runtime limitations. I get it. That's why I never consider okay, with Max in chat, he's like, no, it's got to be perfect, and it's like, it's a movie.
It does have to be perfect.
Yeah.
If you want me to go back and see a sequel and spend money, take my wallet out and give you more money, God damn it, it needs to be fucking perfect.
No, hold on. No, but what I'm talking about is an adaptation from a book or a comic or something. To me, changing the medium, you're now spinning off. It's an alternate universe. It is not the same thing. So I'm usually a little more forgiving with race swaps or gender swaps, especially if it was something written 100 years ago, where,
Bridgerton.
So instead of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's Snow White and the Seven Magical Tall Beings.
That just looked stupid.
Yeah. That's Serapis, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I would love for some of these people who actually want to get their stuff made how they want it to come try making it over here. Because I'm just saying, we've made some pretty good stuff the last few years.
Well, okay, so I agree with what Legion of Myth just said. Don't call it the same name if you're not going to do the same thing. Change the title
Yes.
at least.
Yes.
Like, let's do Bluey versus Alien.
Bluey versus Haley.
I think you'd call that Barney.
Well, but so like how much do we have to change the title? Like Batman The Dark Knight Rises.
Ugh.
Okay. Is that enough of a change? Because like I said, for me, and like DC has done it for years. They've had their Elseworlds line. You know, so they'll tell a Batman story that isn't part of the storyline, or where Batman's parents survive, or you know, like Bruce Wayne grew up in Victorian era.
I mean, that's a little different. I mean, look at for example, I mean, like Penguin, you know, or Joker. You know, they didn't call those Batman. They called them Joker. They called it.
Well, but they were focusing
Penguin.
on a different character.
Sure. That's the point.
No, but I mean, but if you're focusing on Batman, if you're focusing on Batman, you know, you would call it Batman. You know, but it's obviously a different. You know, like I said, it's a different telling of the story. You know, like the what is it? 10 Simple Rules or something? Like the crap, I can't remember her name, but like the Heath Ledger movie.
Oh, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, it's the taming of the shrew. It's just a different telling of the story.
Right.
So it can be done, Max. I'm sorry. I will fight you on that hill.
Kind of like the adult version of Harry Potter is called Harry Twatter, not, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to change the name up somehow just to avoid brand confusion.
Then we've got Star Wars.
I mean, she's got a point. Forrest Hump. Writing Miss Daisy.
The Dark Knight Rises.
The Dark.
Yeah, okay, Griffin, that's one where they didn't change the name. And you had brand confusion. I mean, when we popped that in and watched for the first time, holy shit.
That Dark Knight
I was cleaning up for a week. See, I can get away with stuff here that I can't on my channel.
That's what I'm for. To say to such a small audience all the things you can't say on your own channel.
I mean, it's still here for posterity, so who knows how many people are going to see it. But
yeah, that's true.
I will be right back, guys.
That's fair. Because ironically, I was about to say cunt. So, among the many things you can't say on your channel, or you don't want to say on your channel.
No, I just choose not to.
Whereas me, I try to keep it to a minimum when I'm talking to people, because otherwise I'm just, you know, it's a cunting torrent. So,
what would happen if a face hugger grabbed a hold of, like, a praying mantis?
What about the Edgar bug from Men in Black?
Well, I mean, and we've had the ant alien. They God, what was that toy line that came out with those? I can't remember the name of the toy line, but they came out with like this whole weird line of alien figures. One was like based on a bull, another was based on an ant, another was based on a rhinoceros or something. It was weird.
I don't remember those at all. See, Legion of Myth, I would love to be sympathetic for you, but you're also a dirty Capellan, Max, and I just can't support that. So
no sympathy for them.
No sympathy. When you embrace the true-born nature, then we can talk.
The true. Max hates clans more than he hates being called a dirty Capellan.
What about a face hugger versus a sloth? Would that be like a really slow-moving alien?
With giant claws. Or a face hugger versus 3 crane.
Face hugger versus a beholder.
God.
The eye stalks, instead of a bunch of eye stalks, they're all mouths. Each one with its own little inner mouth that comes out.
I am all for the alien beholder.
That'd be neat.
Well, there you go, Game Masters. You've got some ideas to mock up for your channel.
Somewhere on my channel, I've got a where I did 4/5 edition conversion, both an alien and a predator stats stat block.
I remember
that was
episodes.
A few years back, but yeah.
I mean, why not?
Sloth morph.
Sloth morph.
But an alien face hugger versus a unicorn. I don't know. That one sounded better in my head.
Look, you can have your Alien versus My Little Pony standoff once Gurr does his thing.
Oh, I'm very annoyed, by the way. They haven't made a humble bundle of it yet.
Xanathar's Guide to Xenomorphs. That's great. Oh shit, that's an idea right there. I listen, O'Neill, if you give me permission, I might just run with that. That's your idea. I'll give you credit for the idea, but holy shit, that is an awesome idea. Xanathar's Guide to Xenomorphs. Xanathar becomes so blind he doesn't realize that his fish is actually a face hugger.
There's like a queen in the depths of friendship is procreation. there's like an alien queen, like, okay, I don't know anything about Xanathar, so just humor me as I'm making this up on the fly.
Yeah.
But so there's an alien queen in like a deep basement underneath his wizard tower, and she keeps laying eggs, and the face huggers just like keep infecting different, magical creatures.
He's a beholder.
Oh,
yeah. Xanathar is a beholder, but so Xanathar, in a nutshell, Xanathar is one of the more powerful beholders that can speak common and is not evidently overtly hostile to your regular run-of-the-mill adventurers. but he has a pet fish, and that pet goldfish dies multiple times. He loves this goldfish. I mean, he loves it beyond anything. But his caretakers are so scared that if he ever finds out that his goldfish has died, he's going to go crazy and kill everybody with all of his eye stalks. So when the goldfish dies, his caretakers are the ones that, his subjects, whatever, they go out and find another goldfish to put into the fish tank so that he never sees it dead.
That's funny.
There you go, Game Masters.
All right, that works.
Right, and so all of his caretakers then have been taken, or have been infected by xenomorphs, and so so then they just put a little face hugger in the tank.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to put this up, but yeah, my channel, this isn't as bad as. I believe this is in relation to this.
But yeah, seriously, like, because I have it quote unquote on the schedule to do the My Little Pony deep dive.
But you got to get through Eberron first.
Well, we have to get through Eberron first. Well, no, technically I have to get through Eberron and then BattleTech.
So what you're saying is, if I hurry up my ass up, I might still beat you to doing the review of that book.
Yes, but I'm kind of like, well, no, but that's the thing is, like, for the last few months, Humble Bundle has had all of the Renegade role-playing games,
Just
as bundles. My Little Pony's the only one they haven't done yet. So, like, and that's the other thing. It is expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I think the actual book is like 50 or 55. My Little Pony, Marv.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man.
I
need to write that down for Grim to tell her in the morning.
But yeah, the core rulebook, like, print is like $55. Yeah. The PDF is $38.50.
That's expensive for a PDF too.
Yeah. Actually, I have no problem with the book. The book's 8.5 by 11 and like 340 pages.
Yeah, but still, it's expensive.
Can I just point out something? That's in USD.
Yeah.
Wait for how much that costs for me. Plus $70 of shipping.
Right. Yeah, no, right. Like my ballpark for like an acceptable PDF is Catalyst Game Labs. Reason for that, all of their hardcovers are $50. All of their PDFs are $20. I mean, not like there's some variation, but like 20 is the max that I can recall for any of the PDFs. I think even for like the Shadowrun core rulebook, I think is just $20. So, anyways, that's the ballpark I use. And, for My Little Pony to be double that, I don't care. Even with licensing, it can't justify that price.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even get it cheap on eBay.
Right, but that's the thing is, I have the physical book, but to do the deep dive, we need the PDF.
Yeah,
and I don't want to spend $40 on it. Like if it comes down to it, because again, it's Eberron, BattleTech, My Little Pony, and Kim's actually getting excited for it, so that's going to be fun.
In the year 2135.
Right, exactly. But yeah, so if it gets to it and we don't have a choice, I'll probably, get it and do it. But it's ridiculous. So I'm hoping they do a Humble Bundle for it. But they haven't announced it yet.
Although they've had some pretty good sales lately that they've announced if you're on their newsletter.
I am.
Yeah.
But it still ain't that good. It's like, oh, you get 10% off. Oh, so it's $35.
Yeah, I mean, like their current
To be fair, that's cheaper
sale.
for you.
Well, their current sale is that the book was $55. Now it's $49.50.
Right, 10%
You're not even
off.
saving $5. Yeah. It's just,
10% isn't a sale. It's
no, it's not.
I do a CBA. Oh, cost benefit analysis. Okay.
See, for me, I just review the shit that I like and talk about shit that I like, and that's why my channel sucks. Also,
And-
I might be saying cunt too many times too.
And I split the difference between you and Max. Like Max totally runs it as a business. And one of the things that I really like about him, because I can go to him for questions. Like he's really big on like the algorithm and like all the changes to my thumbnails. Like literally that was Max just coaching me for an hour.
What I need
going back and forth.
What I need is someone poking me to actually finish the video that I'm still editing. That should have been out probably 2 weeks ago, and I'm just stalling.
There's an easier option.
What?
Just don't edit.
Then there's just large swaths of like nothing, and me giving examples and nothing being up on the screen.
I get that.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah. So, Max, you are not a failed business. You ain't living off of it, but you ain't failed business.
Imagine there is no business, and then there will be business.
Hey, that's my philosophy.
But yeah, no, it's really interesting. Like I'm still enjoying it. I probably should be saving my voice to try and record a video to have something come out on Monday because I didn't have anything come out last Monday.
I finally am back onto my regular schedule of stuff.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I think we all kind of do, because otherwise, I mean, if it wasn't what Max wanted to cover, he'd be doing what everybody else does, cover Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, but I still do, and I still have to do like some experimental videos too, because that's the stuff that I get a kick out of. Like I did one. Was it yesterday or the day before, Seraphis? I forget. Where I did one of my videos, converted it all into German.
That would be yesterday for you.
Yesterday, okay. Now, granted, it's only seen 65
that was
views.
This morning for me,
but still.
Well, and actually, and one thing I will say, Brian, I'm not trying to bust on anyone doing D&D content. That's totally fine.
No, bust on it. Bust on it. I mean, seriously. I mean, I stick to D&D content because that's what gets views. Okay. I mean, I branch off and do.
Do you enjoy doing it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy doing videos. I mean, that's the thing. It could just as easily be.
Right. But see, for me, I probably would not enjoy doing Dungeons and Dragons videos. I mean, like occasionally something here, something there. Like I still need to go through the Monsters Compendium. I think.
But you're doing a deep dive in Eberron. That's D&D.
That's true. That's true. I'm just saying in general, like to shift my channel to be like D&D focused.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It would not interest me. But it does interest you, and that's why I said that I wasn't trying to bust on it, because if that's what you
I get it.
if that's what you enjoy doing it, that's what you should be doing. And Max likes covering all of the other games. So, he just said that he's hurt by the lack of D&D content, but I mean, do you want to be Ginny D or do you want to be Legion of Myth?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Seraphis, yes.
Oh, no, you go.
No, all I was going to say is, Game Masters originally started out as being a master of all games and a place where the dungeon master, the game master, the storyteller, the architect, whatever other term is used for the person that runs the game, to be a channel for that specific core audience. But it has over the years morphed into a, this is my lane D&D, because that's what gets views. I mean, that's what a lot of people are interested in. I will still and forever and always throw other things in there just to see what sticks.
Sure.
That's not specific to D&D, because, and I think that'll be easier to do as the audience, as more audience members or subscribers subscribe, or as people subscribe to the channel, because at a certain point, can you imagine if I had 1 million subscribers, right? Hypothetically, let's say we all had 1 million subscribers. Brian, let's say your focus was BattleTech. Seraphis, your focus was Cipher System games. But then all of a sudden, Brian, you threw in a My Little Pony review. Well, of those 1 million subscribers, you're going to hit some of those are going to be really big into My Little Pony. And now all of a sudden, you kind of have a slight shift in your demographic, or at the very least, you're going to end up directing some traffic from your current core base to that Little Pony product.
Right.
So, I mean, I kind of look at, I look at this as a business. I really do. It's just one that I happen to have a lot of fun doing. And, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Right. And like for me, I like I could shift it into a straight, I could turn it into just a BattleTech channel, or I'm doing miniature stuff. I could just do a Warhammer channel, but I intentionally don't want a lane,
Yeah.
And I realize that will hurt me. I realize that is the wrong way to do it, but it's what keeps me interested. It's what keeps me going.
Right.
So, and as far as treating it like a business, that's exactly what you should do. Whether you're at 60 subscribers or whether you're at, 6,000
subscribers.
Right.
Hey, if you're at 6 million subscribers and you're not treating it as a business, I got to know that secret.
Right. But yeah, so
but if you got 6 million subscribers, chances are you're also a cunt. So,
hey, I'll be a wealthy one.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I'm looking at what are some ways to to shift some monetization. I have my laser, I have my 3D printers. There's all sorts of things that I could be doing, but it is also extra work that I have to do. So for now, it's just
there's no question. I mean, at a certain point, for me anyway, there is I do nothing but eat, sleep, drink, rinse, and repeat YouTube. I mean, this is it's when I'm not at my 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, YouTube is my second job. Mm-hmm. I hate it, but I love it at the same time.
Right. I need to be much more disciplined.
Well, there are days where it suffers.
Max, At some point, I'm going to say cunt, and I won't. Yeah.
No, you're
I'll
allowed
ruin your
to.
channel.
He just wants you to keep it to a minimum. Like one cunt in the whole stream, he'll probably cut you some slack.
Did you just say a naughty word there?
He did.
I don't. Maybe.
It's a good thing it's Sunday for you, huh, Brian?
I'm a little in shock.
I actually don't think of that as like okay. To me, it's not a bad word. It's not really a good word. It's not necessarily a word that is part of my regular vernacular. But in my brain, it's just like,
It's a vagina.
So Max says that we should join on a Friday night panel sometime, and I'm all up for it.
Are you in the GMI Discord?
No, probably not.
All right, I'll send you an invite.
Right.
Because yeah, basically he's got like that's where he'll post all of the
Gotcha. I mean, I'm subscribed to the channel, but not I'm not in the Discord.
Right. Well, so so he's changing the Friday night show to Game Master Insights. And then and so in there, that's where he'll post, hey, these are the upcoming topics. Which would you like to jump in on?
Gotcha.
So, you know, and he's always up for new people. I haven't been on in a while, mostly because I feel dumb.
So like me every day.
Yeah, but you at least have experience that I don't get to call on.
I don't know about that. I'll make it all up.
Go back and watch any, like 4-Color Cafe that I was on.
Yeah.
That is literally me just theory crafting, because I ain't ever done any of it like actually in
I mean, yeah, me too.
like, at the table. So
I never join up any of these live streams unless it's one that I'm running. I never know what I'm going to say. I never know what the topics are. I just jump in and just BS.
That is not Max's style. But I mean, it is still an open conversation. But it's like, okay, tonight we're going to talk like last Friday, we're going to talk about solo role playing games, and so talked for 3+ hours about solo role playing.
Yeah, and see, somehow I would interject that into other things you do solo. Yes, Seraphis?
That reminds me, 2 things. One, gonna have to end soon because I got to be up in a couple of hours. Yay.
Whoa.
But 2, that reminded me the solo play thing, but kind of not really.
You got to get that taken care of before you go to bed.
Oh no, I did that before the stream.
Oh, okay.
He's got to loosen up.
Loosey goosey. No, did you see Cody did a was it review or a game of Dragonbane?
He did a live play of Dragonbane.
Yeah. I did catch some of it, yeah.
So
sorry.
No, Dragonbane's awesome. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
It looks solid. I liked what I read.
Mm.
Haven't played it, but I liked what I read. So,
for the most part, a lot of the time, my hang up is I've already got a backlog. I've already got a backlog of running games already because full-time dad, no time at all, and like basically, I can't afford $100 for a starter set.
Right.
Like there's and not to bring it back round on something, this is why I try to get in on like crowdfunding things, because it usually works out cheaper for me
Sure.
to get those things. Usually. Not 1.5 times more expensive.
I'm not defending any of that.
Also, I usually have it by now.
That's fair. No, I totally understand that. The only thing that I will say in that regard is right now the kids are small, and at this point, okay, I'll use this as an example. So yesterday, one of the local game shops did a swap meet. Okay. And so me and my oldest and my youngest went down because those two are interested in Warhammer. So we've been, getting some stuff. And one of them plays Nurgle Marines. Another one plays Tzeentch Marines. And they both got their Primarchs. Well, I've been kind of debating, okay, I like regular Marines, but which direction am I going to go? And it's like, oh, do I just go with my own chapter? Do I do Dark Angels? Because I've always kind of liked Dark Angels. Well, my son found somebody who was selling the Dark Angels Primarch for $40. Like, yep, done. Okay. And we're driving home.
That's how much one costs here.
Yes, I know.
One Space Marine. Not the Primarch. A Space Marine.
Yes, Games Workshop is ridiculously expensive. I know.
They hate Australians even more because
that's fair.
Dirty, filthy.
And I'd almost say that's why we need to be using Legos, but shit, that stuff's just as expensive.
Well, but hold on. So this is actually the point of the story. So we're driving home, and my son's like, "Oh, I would like to say that I've done more about getting us, Primarchs than has been done in the last 8 years since we started looking at this." And literally the only thing I could say is, I'm sorry that I was kind of broke and we were not very good with money back then. And I made a promise that I didn't fulfill. And it was fun. He actually felt a little bad. And he's like, "It's okay, Dad." But it is one of those things, Seraphis. I get it. It is expensive, especially now with the kids being small and all the other complications that come with it.
And the boy wasting so much food.
Yeah. Welcome to kids.
Today, he took his lunch outside and then just threw it into the garden.
Yes.
That was like $5 worth of food.
Was he feeding something?
No, he just was an asshole.
Because, if he's trying to feed, the neighborhood rabbit, maybe he's just trying to get you more food.
See, we don't have rabbits locally. The feral cats kill them. And we don't have feral cats around.
Maybe he was trying to feed the local feral cat.
No, he's not trying to feed the local feral cats because the rats are trying to chicken. The rats gang up on them, and there's no rats around here.
Feed the local rats.
No, rats. Because it's hot weather now, and they're basically cooking in the sun.
Maybe he's trying to feed the local ants, so that y'all could dip them in chocolate.
My son My son ate an ant taco while he was in Mexico.
They've got a very acidic, aftertaste.
I don't know. Apparently it was a delicacy, and they're very specific ants. And he said it was very tasty.
It's like crunchy rice.
Something like that. Anyways, my point, Seraphis, is, it's fine. Deal with kids. You're a young dad. It'll get better. It'll be fine.
You got to be nice to them now because they're the ones that got to take care of you when you're 80.
Oh, no, I'm definitely going to die of a stroke or something before then.
I'm dead at 43. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, yeah, that entirely possible. I was going to say dead in about 5 years, and yeah, that would line up.
Hey, look, I find it very amusing that I'm still here right now. So, just saying.
Oh well. No, how about we start the show, huh?
Yeah,
Sounds
let's
good.
get
I
this thing
gotta
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Talking Drek, everybody. I am Surface. I am joined by Game Masters and Gaming with ADHD, or the Red and Blue Brian, as I like to call them.
It's green. Oh, that's red. I'm trying to go with Christmas.
My shirt's kind of blue.
And today, I actually thought that we could discuss Shadowrun a bit more and the lore about it. Because, funny thing,